Most disturbing videos today. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you can see more videos like this.
Why are they hiding this? Look at all these huge buildings in Italy. Do you actually believe normal humans built them? And why are there giant tombs in Italy that nobody speaks about? There's an unbelievable explanation for these huge structures, and it's going to shock you. The island of Sardinia was not just a home to ancient people, it was inhabited by giants. But here's what's crazy. In ancient texts, there are references to huge beings, which says, the giants walked the island and built massive stone towers. This is where things get scary. Hidden reports suggest gigantic human-like bones have been discovered in these tombs. Mainstream archaeology says these bones are the Nuragic people, but some believe they are the remains of an ancient race of giants. These giants are linked to a civilization called the Nuragics, which lived between 1900 and 730 BCE. They built the Nuragis, which are large stone towers, and the amazing giants' tombs. The giants' tombs, or tombe dei giganti, are megalithic graves found all over Sardinia even today. Local legends speak of giants having enormous strength and advanced knowledge. They constructed the Nuragis and other megalithic structures easily. But once these connections were discovered, the true story was buried to protect conventional history.
But it is possible man could have built those structures in Italy. But the pyramids are a different story. So many different theories. The giants built the pyramids, or it was built by ancient technology. What do you think?
Shit. Look at that! Holy shit.
Yeah, it's spraying stuff. What is going on?
We never see this shit at night.
What are they spraying?
It never makes a tail at night. Look how small it is.
What's it spraying?
It's spraying shit. Shit. Look at that! Holy shit.
It's kind of hard to see on that video, but there was some type of smoky trail following it. What do you think it is? Do you think this is responsible for the fog and why everyone's getting sick? Is there a bigger plan afoot? Is this the custodians in action? Guys, this might be one. Did they actually get a close-up on one of the drones? Did one of the fishermen reel it on board? What's it shooting at the bottom? It's like something's getting projected off the bottom of it. Drop your thoughts below.
For no reason at all, I'm going to show you guys what's been in the sky while we've been preoccupied and unable to see in the sky in many different places. You see that? What in the world is this in front of the moon? By the way, it's not a branch, it's 3 different angles. Moving on. It's not just the moon. Look at the reflections down here, by the way. 1, 2, 3. What's going on with the sun, you guys? Where are these orbs flying around the sun? It seems like something really weird's going on, right? I mean, who knows? Maybe some kind of portal got opened lately. What is this? And we've been distracted in many different ways lately, especially in the northern United States, the Northeast. Pretty weird. What in the fudge would you call this? And we just saw this in a whole different place at a different time. By the way, look how condensed the air is. This was in Manchester. That's absolutely insane. All over the United States, all over the UK, all over the place. You could even see it in these plane pictures. In every single one of them. This looks like a scary movie. But this right here, and this right here is in Germany. Like, what are we even looking at? Do y'all think it's normal when the auroras come all the way to the South United States? Because it's really not normal, you guys. I have a crazy video on this tomorrow, because we have a crazy geomagnetic storm coming. These geomagnetic events have a lot to do with radioactivity and spirituality. Like I said, I'll explain tomorrow. Let me know what y'all think below.
There's a chance that it might be affecting us. We also can't see what's truly going on above the clouds. If you're enjoying these videos, be sure you hit that like and subscribe button because we do this every single day.
Everyone's asking for updates about this fog, but in this video, you're gonna see that you need to check your HVAC filter. That's what this lady did. I'm putting her in the link below. We know this fog has been crazy, but just take a look at this. You need to check yours too. Let's go.
I need to show you guys my air filter in my house. There's fog everywhere, and I've been feeling like respiratory issues for like a couple days now, like basically since the fog started. And I decided after seeing all the fog videos on TikTok, I would come and change my filter, which I do every month. This is a new one. Let me show you what my new one looks like.
So I'm asking everyone to go check your HVAC filter. Let me know what yours is like. Comment below
Now,
where
keep
you're
in mind,
from.
I just changed this filter like a month ago. Let me show you the one that I'm about to pull out. Look at this filter, y'all. I've never pulled out a filter this dark in my life.
So for more strange and crazy updates, you can follow this channel. Comment below where you're from. But yes, there's some strange things going on in the sky. What can we do?
So I definitely think something's up. Yeah, I'm actually victim to not feeling the best. Remember, these videos are for entertainment purposes only. Do your own research on everything.
So what bioenvironmental engineering is in the Air Force is equivalent to that of the OSHA and the EPA, if you're familiar with that. So we were an embedded liaison to make sure that we were tracking all of the aspects and impacts of the military, meaning what is the military doing and how is it impacting the environment, because we were accountable for that. One day I was going through that computer system, which if you want to look it up, it's called an Air Force Form 3952. It is the approval of hazardous materials. I was finding tons and tons of large quantities of aluminum, barium, strontium in the forms of oxides and sulfates. So I started asking questions. And at that point, my demonization began. You know, I made my rank. I was decorated. I was a non-commissioned officer of the quarter. I won lots of awards. I had no reason for anyone to attempt to demonize me. So then I get moved over to the other Air Logistics Center. There's only 2 in the Air Force, which is in Warner Robins, Georgia. This kind of carried with me. And I thought, you know what? Should I revisit this? Is it worth it? Did I hit something? Maybe it's need to know. I started finding the same things at Robins Air Force Base. I was now doing some more investigation work. Part of what I did was to use a high volume air sampler to air sample up to, let's say, a football field in about 10 minutes. I also conducted soil sampling because I thought, you know, if this is real and they are spraying this, it's going to get to the ground. So I conducted air sampling, I conducted soil sampling, and I was getting high levels of these contaminants.
That the skies that we're seeing are not normal cloud formations. These are man-made. And we found unusual spiking in barium, aluminum, strontium, magnesium, calcium, manganese. Aluminum, as one example, gets into the root systems of our crop trees and our trees, and it looks like the trees are dying of drought. But they're not. What happens is that the root systems can no longer absorb the water and the nutrients needed to survive.
They are manipulating the weather like crazy, and one of the ways they do it is this operation in Alaska called HARP, which fires high-power radio waves from into the ionosphere and has weather effects. Now, we've had these extremes of weather, floods and droughts. When we have these extremes of weather, they say it's because the jet stream has moved from where it normally is. This guy, Bernard Eastland, who wrote many of the patents for the HARP project, said that HARP can steer the jet stream. And this is what Dr. Richard Day said in 1969. The weather will be modified and used as a weapon of war to create drought or famine.
Those are NEXRAD stations. Each of those towers are 750 kilowatts, pumping out between 2.7 to 2.9 gigahertz in the microwave range. This is roughly the same frequency as your microwave oven. This was 12 hours long that they held this pulse while we slept. Look at these. Watch these towers and these stations. This is not weather. This is not rain. The light, look, would you see that huge burst coming out of Nevada? These are your 5th generation network stations that are all lighting up together.
Transmission system. That's right. That's right. It's in outside of Tromsø, the biggest HARP type of thing, part of ASCAT system. The system going from Svalbard, Tromsø, Kiruna in Sweden has the headquarters of the whole system, and then in Lapland, in Finnish Lapland, in Sorakmo. And you know, when they blast electromagnetic fields, it goes through all of Europe.
We now know with peer-reviewed study that bees are testing with 70 times more aluminum in their system than what it takes to cause Alzheimer's or dementia in a human being. It's a wonder any of them are alive. 70 times more. And this is important as well. When you have somebody from some agency who's paid to lie, who tells you it's normal to have aluminum everywhere because it's a very abundant element. That is a lie of inaccuracy. Aluminum is very abundant in the environment, yes, but it does not exist in the environment in free form. It doesn't exist in free form. It must be mined and refined and sprayed for it to be scattered everywhere in the environment, and that's exactly what's happening. It's not just the bees that are dying. Every single one of us is being contaminated. These materials are bioavailable. They're building up in our systems, and it doesn't matter whether you believe it or not. It doesn't matter. It's a fact. We have the lab test to prove it. There will be no hiding this issue much longer. And what does it appear? The chemical signature for what's showing up in rain tests matches coal fly ash, a substance that the EPA has told us is not harmful. They've been trying desperately to get rid of, and it seems to suit the purposes for geoengineering. We now know with peer-reviewed study.
The bees, though? We need the bees. This might be a little bit bigger than we think.
This exquisite bracelet, once belonging to Pharaoh, Ramesses II, is crafted from solid gold and designed in 2 interlocking sections. A hinge secures one side, while a clasp fastens the other. The upper section of the bracelet features an intricate double-headed duck motif. At its center lies a stunning piece of lapis lazuli, encased by wide, gleaming bands of gold.
Just take a look at this. One of the few bells of the old world survived. Just take a look at this. One of the few bells of the old world survived, hidden and buried in Lithuania. This beautiful massive bell, over 100 years old. Look at the machinery it takes to lift it out of that hole. Just look how heavy it is. But what happened to all the bells of the old world? Where did they all go? The ones that used to adorn all the churches' towers.
They tell us they were removed and melted down for ammunition in one of their many ill-fought wars at our expense. But what we were intentionally not made to realize is just how important these bells were in the old world. Churches, temples, buildings adorned with bell towers were not just idle places of worship. They were the healing centers of the old world, operating similar to the principles of the Rife machine, using frequency and vibration, a technology and capability known very well in the old world. Why would we be allowed such empowering freedoms? There is no profit and control to be had in a healthy patient.
And that's definitely not the business model of modern medicine. Question everything, friends. Until next time.
It makes you think, what type of technology did they actually have to make those bells in the first place, and how did they move them?
We're going to Turkey. Turkey has some of the wildest stuff on the planet, hands down. Look at this. This is Eagle Castle. I'm probably butchering that name, but does that not look like a pillar to you? Like a giant pillar? That's huge. Those are people. Look at the boat. There's a rock-cut monastery that you can go inside, just like the one in Ethiopia. When you go inside this one, it's decorated head to toe like a cathedral. Turkey is ancient. We have megalithic architecture and rock-cut temples in Sorna, the city of oracles, and the ancient theater of Side rivals the Colosseum in Rome. It's insane. Göbekli Tepe and Karahan Tepe are also in Turkey. These two pushed civilization back 5,000 years from what we thought. They were buried really fast, like something was happening outside. The fact that every ancient culture has a flood myth would make Derinkuyu make sense. It's an 8-story underground city with locking doors, water access, and air vents. 20,000 people can live in this city, and it is connected by a 5-mile-long tunnel to Kemakli, another underground city, forming a network of over 200 underground cities in Turkey. Next door neighbor, Armenia, has a megalithic avenue similar to Karnak in France, making this whole area the most mysterious thing I've ever seen. Have fun with that rabbit hole.
A megalithic road? I never heard of that. How crazy is that?
What you're seeing here is water memory. These are images frozen in water. You're probably going to want to sit down for this. Now, these images were created in the frozen water after showing the image to the water for only about 30 seconds. Now, you probably think I'm fucking crazy for saying this because I thought this was insane too. But if you go to Veda Austin's page, she shows you exactly how to do this. You can try it at home. Now, one of these would probably be a fluke, but we literally have hundreds of examples of this. This works repeatably. So we've known water has memory for a very long time, like literal memory. This is because water can change its structure depending on the vibrations it comes in contact with, from thought to sound. Now, the purity of the water also affects its crystal structure. Our processing plants don't help this, and we beat the shit out of it when we pipe it through right angles to get to our homes. This is not how water was ever meant to travel. Ancient people knew this, and the Victorian estates even put in fountains and water features to restructure the water. When you restructure it, it makes beautiful crystals. When you pump beautiful vibrations into it, it makes beautiful fractal crystals. When you put interference patterns into it, it gets really chaotic. So what about our images? When the light passes through the water structure gets imprinted and changes to those vibrations. When you freeze the water, that crystal structure reflects what it saw. Water is the Earth's internet. It's how it communicates information to itself. It's wild.
How interesting was it when the ancients received their water? It looked like it had to go through some type of maze first. Restructuring the water before you drink it. That's fascinating. Guys, this doesn't look natural. It looks like some type of frequency is hitting it to make those waves like that. I believe we can see the same pattern in the skies. You know, I don't want to say it, but you know, those things that come at Florida a lot, you know, the sky has the same patterns.
I don't know if you can tell. Oh, it is so weird. I don't know if you can tell, but this is like some polar optical illusion. It's like Denali is melting. Oh, it is so weird.
That is beautiful. Just seeing the canyon in the back. How breathtaking is that? I want to see that. Look at the pine trees. Man, I would have been taking all types of pictures. Click, 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 click. Just soaking it in.
So, I have an outdoor cat and I bought him a can of Fancy Feast. Fancy Feast Turkey and Giblets Feast. There's all the information. This is what I found today. This hair is growing out of the food that wasn't ate. And it's coarse hair. It's the same color as my cat, but my cat is a...
So, yesterday and today was really, really foggy. And then I'm walking in the yard and I see this hair growing out of the cat poo on the ground. It's like that long coming out of the cat poo. Never seen anything like that. And then I've seen people on TikTok say they've seen it since the fog yesterday.
So a lot of people are reporting that after the fog that we've been experiencing, there are strange things growing from the ground, just like this. Check this out.
Yesterday and today was really, really foggy. And then I'm walking in the yard and I see this hair.
That's hair.
Out of the cat poo on the ground. It's like that long coming out of the cat poo.
Did you hear someone coughing from breathing that
Never
in?
seen anything like that. And then I've seen people on TikTok say they've seen it since the fog yesterday.
If you looked at the hair follicles closely, it looked like it was possibly a spore at the top. Could those been some type of fungus growing on that cat food?
All right, fam, you gotta hear me out. You might say I'm crazy, and that's fine. But you gotta listen until the end. Listen until the end about the theory that parasites are actually demons. Now, before all you religious people jump out here and start saying, I can't have no demons up in me, I'm blood bought, sanctified, saved, all this stuff, you know, just listen, just wait. This is 2025. The enemy has been here for years. He's strategic. This is more than spiritual. Of course, you could be set free from all these spiritual things that you were bound with. But the enemy's smart. He knows that he can get to you physically through the food, through what you drink, and sometimes even by the pets that we have in our home. We get all these sicknesses. It was brought on by parasite. That's why we know in his word. However, this kind does not come out except by prayer and fasting. And we all know what happens when we're fasting. Nothing's coming into our body, right? Did you know every 6 months after the Amish become adults, they go on a 6-month detox cleanse to get rid of these parasites? Don't you know these things can be mood altering? And what you're craving, sometimes you say you're hungry and you start getting angry. Your mood starts switching up. Even your character can be altered by these things, yo. And what does the enemy do? The same exact thing, right? That's how he works. There's things that you're craving. These things that you're craving, yo. Down to the food, it could be alcohol, whatever substance that you're filling this void with, the enemy knows it. You might be prayed up, read up, everything that's spiritually coming against you, you're stopping it. But when it comes to the things that you're consuming, think about it. It leaves you in a rut and stagnant. And you're like, this is not me. Have you seen these things under a microscope, yo? You can't tell me that parasites ain't demons. Your body is your temple. And when I say this, I'm talking to myself always. We have to be careful with all this stuff that we're taking: sugar, fast food, pork, seafood, all these things that bring out parasites. Don't just take it from me. I got confirmation in my spirit when I first started hearing this. But just like you can't take your pastor's word at face value, you got to study it yourself. Go study it yourself, fam. Don't call me crazy until you have done the work. It's 2025 now. Let's think outside the box. Let the Spirit really lead us. Stay vigilant, fam.
You gotta take care of your temple. He said those parasites will have you craving stuff. How's that commercial go? You're not yourself. Eat a Snickers. The most disturbing videos on the internet today. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure you hit a like and subscribe button. If you're new around here, we do this every single day. This is Dark Waters 9.